if I stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. And I've heard you've been here before, but I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
I just wanted to get to that part of the song. I think that's what I was headed towards.
I feel like our internet's been so crappy today. Like I feel like we look blurry when I look at the stream on my phone.
Well, you gotta.
Oh, I have to push a button.
Yeah,
No?
just instead of auto, just pick
So-
the resolution.
Oh no.
I mean,
Probably not the
we're
time.
gonna start the
We're not
show
gonna worry about that right
troubleshooting, and an Android user.
Hey, watch your mouth.
That's what we'll do. We'll do the whole show. We'll
Watch
just
your
work
face.
on your phone.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Sarah's here.
Yes, this guy's here.
This guy's here. Oh, there was something I was gonna start off, and I totally forgot. I
How
should have
crazy
wrote it
your
down.
hair is.
Oh, I think I'm just gonna grow it out.
Oh, okay.
I'm
You got a man bun?
considering it, but the problem I'm having is I think I have old man hair,
Oh,
so
that
it's
means-
turning into like a
Thick.
Brillo pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a little,
Yeah.
and I think that's why it's so frizzy.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening,
Yeah, it's a lot.
but it's all there. It's all in your head.
There was something there was something exciting.
Oh, I don't know. That's my.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Happy Mario Day. That's what it was.
Yes,
I
Mario
was like, I couldn't
Day.
remember. I was like, I was doing all the date thing for, starting the stream. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's Mario Day.
Yeah.
So happy Mario Day. I think Nintendo has, sales.
They should have tickets to Universal Studios for sale. They should be cheaper today for their new
Oh,
Mario thingy bobber. That'd be cool.
how come my little, okay, hold on.
See, now we're troubleshooting yours.
Well, no, I just don't see, where's my tool?
Oh yeah, the little thing that goes on the
Yeah,
side.
my little,
I don't know.
usually I have what is it called? What's it called?
Assistant. OBS. Window.
Stats. Chat. There it is.
That. I was real close.
Found it.
All right.
That way you can see the chat over there too.
Oh, I
but-
never look over there. I always just look
Oh.
on my phone.
Well, I try not to.
I don't know if you know this. My vision's terrible.
Oh, that's why. I have huge screens.
If these glasses weren't thinned down, it'd be like this far out.
Oh, that's true. She's
This
not
far
done
out.
that before that.
Alrighty. Well,
All right, so
welcome.
happy Mario Day.
Yeah.
Welcome to another Friday with Sarah and Scooter.
That's us.
Oh, a little bit of, I don't know if anybody's watching, but if you're watching this VOD or on the podcast, please hit us up because we want to talk about subjects you guys want to hear about, and so we can interact with you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep not randomly, but we're gonna keep picking topics
It's random.
that are kind of near and dear to our heart, but also some of the ones that have been submitted over the last. We've been doing this for a little while, over a year or so.
Yeah.
Some of those, and I think there's some we just didn't get to, but we're still trying. So social media, you can even put a comment in the YouTube. I don't.
You text us. Whatever.
You got most of you know us.
Yeah.
If you don't know us personally, you still send us an email. Send us a slide into our DMs.
You can text us too. Just
Sarah
that'd be a
and
little
Scooter.
weird.
It'd be how would they know? Okay,
We're very public figures.
it's gonna be very weird if they know our
Googleable.
number.
Not really.
Really?
We're Googleable. I mean,
Not
our-
my phone number.
Your business number.
Yeah, my business
Just
number is.
texting them.
Yeah, it's still on my phone.
I
So
know.
yeah, you could
Yeah,
do a business
see?
number.
But
All
first,
right.
we must start off with our
Oh, I was like, sponsors.
obligatory
Okay.
shot.
Our ASMR shot
Wait, we didn't even cheers.
is
Salud.
goes into hammer space.
It doesn't matter. They can hear. Hit the whole mic.
Slunchava. Mm-hmm. So,
I had tequila.
I had vodka, and she tainted my shot glass.
I did not. I rinsed it out. I accidentally put tequila in it, and then I rinsed it out, and it's fine.
And no, you
It's-
used it. I rinsed it out. Then you used it again.
And then I rinsed it out.
It was funny. It was actually, that's going to be part of our rant.
Plus, tequila's better than vodka. Prove me wrong. I'm just kidding. You can't because it's correct.
Oh, that's an intense beer.
I know I'm totally going off the list.
Oh, that's fine.
Anyways, so I ordered like a mystery tequila box, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, because they were
Is it
supposed to
ready
like
yet?
announce it. Still not ready.
Oh,
They were
it's
supposed to
not.
announce it, and the place I got it from was like, hey, if you don't pick it up by Thursday, we're gonna charge you like a restocking fee. So we go in to pick it up. It's not ready. They're like, oh, maybe next week, and we're like, well, it literally said if we don't get it by Thursday, you're gonna charge us a fee. So let's not do that. And then we get an email, or I get an email, and from like the subscription emails, and it just says, hey, there's more mystery boxes. We just want to keep promoting it. I think we're gonna go live this weekend to show what's in the box. And I'm like, well, it'd be cool if you just let the rest of us know who already ordered boxes
Or
what we
just
should
let
be
us,
doing.
let us, let us pick up something we paid for.
Whatever.
It's and yeah, it's
Because I don't really care. I just want to know, like, when I go to, if you tell me to go get something, I'm gonna go get it.
it's
Yeah.
also like it's kind of it's not a secret kind of thing, but it's a club. And what's his name? I mean, we can
There's
talk
only
about
like
it.
so
What's
many.
his name? Is it
Rocco.
Rocco?
Oh, I don't know actually.
ROCO.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Like it's a little, it looks like a convenience store
Yes.
when you walk in, and
Yeah.
but it's packed to the ceiling. It feels
Yeah.
like with all different types of alcohol.
From all
From-
over the world.
Yeah, and they also have a lot of local craft beer
Yes.
and local stuff. So it's pretty cool. They used to have a tap room
Yeah.
too.
It might
but
open back up.
Yeah, it just
eventually.
they just closed it for the
Yeah.
season.
And they do
the-
events like alcohol tasting events. So
Oh,
they'll do
yeah.
whiskey and rum and
And it seems, I mean, they have a good decent social media presence.
Yeah.
Which is so hard to have a social media presence. I know this firsthand.
I don't know. I don't try.
I know. I'd say she's my lovely assistant, but
I only
she
check
is
social
not.
media twice a day.
Yeah, if that. So, yeah. So, yeah, check that out. I was like, we're not doing really shout outs yet,
No.
but it doesn't matter what
That's
order
just-
we go in.
That's just what happened.
I
All right.
mean,
do you want to do
been
a
a long week.
sponsorship?
yeah, I still want to do our this and I'll skip. No, I'll say instead of okay. I was going to talk about it at the end and shout outs, but we couldn't do this without sponsors like our companies, but there's also a Lever Consulting, Lucy Zhang, who's our really, really good friend.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's just not just an amazing human being, but she does amazing things and she does a lot of stuff with us. But a Lever Consulting, check them out, leverconsulting.com. They will give you a free consultation, to kind of tell you what they're about. Actually, here,
Oh, he's
Let me-
going to
let me-
show a link.
why not?
You were wrong. I ups by quality and it didn't change anything. Apparently, why am I only at 144p?
I don't know.
Oh, my little brother's calling me. Aaron, I'll call you back later.
Aaron, just get on and
He's gone.
just text them and say, hey, why don't you watch our show?
Heh.
Why don't you do that? Send them a
can't-
link.
I'm going to close YouTube and reopen it.
All right, cool.
I know everyone cares.
Yeah, because I'm on auto 1080p. So
Are you showing people what you're seeing, or you're just gonna?
I'm about to right here.
Oh.
I just was. Give me a break, man.
I'm impatient.
All right. This is what I have here. This is a leverconsulting.com. So please check them out because
They're awesome.
this is Lucy right here. Lucy Zhang. She's a great friend of ours. She actually moved back to the States not that
Yes,
long
so
ago, and she's
exciting.
in the West Coast again. So I think we're gonna visit soon. But they have workshops. They have services about brainstorming, editing, presenting, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to check them out. Plus, and another little shout out there is like let's go back to that browser there. If you see their logo, my daughter Ariel, she was hired to bake that.
Yes.
So we're just a big family of community members.
I'll say
Some of
talented
them are
people.
related, but
Yeah.
some of them are just brothers and sisters
Yes.
by love.
No. Right.
I don't know what I was
don't
going with.
know what that means. All right.
But no, I want to go and know that what we're doing here is part of also a podcast network.
Yes.
We're not the only podcast on this network. It's a Pull Up a Chair podcast network, and it's a Pull Up a Chair Foundation, which is what we're part of. So I always want to we kind of forget to talk about the other podcasts, yet
Yeah.
they talk about us. And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Oops. Love you guys, because we kind of run it and then we forget to promote them
Yeah.
too. But there's some good. There's one that's called Cringe With Me. It's
Oh,
very funny. They look up, they're millennial generation. They look up stuff on Reddit, and it can get a little like, wow, people really talk about this stuff. Yes, they do. There's also Rad Theater, which is Dungeons and Dragons live play. So you get to the nerdy side. There's some older episodes of Drink Something, Say Something. Make sure and check that out. I don't know if they were bringing that back, but they did like a ton of episodes with local breweries and stuff like that. I was on that one a couple times.
Me too.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are,
Yeah.
they're really important to us.
Yes.
To support the community. So we have about 4 or 5, and then like 3 or 4 that are active, you know.
I totally forgot it was supposed to be Fancy Friday today. So next Friday for sure. I'm putting it on the schedule. I want everyone to show up and then post also your fancy attire.
So your promises and commitment mean nothing.
Kind of. I mean, it's been a long week. It's been a long week.
But it's every week's a long
That's
week.
not true.
Last week was a long
All
week.
of our children have COVID.
Oh, that's fact.
And an extra kid.
Okay, so that's a little. We're just gonna talk for a while.
Yeah.
This is no joke. We have somebody that's visiting us because they need
Life.
a reset in life.
Yeah.
She's a good friend of our 17-year-old daughter, and she's 17 also,
Yeah.
right? So she needed a reset from her life and, what's going on at home. And while she's here, everybody gets COVID. We're
Everyone.
talking, we have four
Yes.
teenagers in our house
All have COVID.
right now with COVID.
Yes.
They're all locked in different
And they're in the
rooms,
Yeah.
and we shove food under the door.
Don't say we. I've literally become a tiny restaurant for these people where I just take orders and take
Do
food.
you know what's funny? There's like, oh, you can say that and complain about it, but you offer it. Like
Well,
that's
yeah,
what
I can't let them starve.
Well, you also can't let them contaminate us. We got stuff to do.
But not really. This is like the perfect time for us to get COVID, honestly. Like, I'd rather get it right now because
Yeah, that's very true.
from April and May is like psychotic.
Yeah,
I'd rather get it right now.
I almost wish
90-day
maybe I should
period.
go in there and just breathe that air.
I've been doing this for days. Nothing's happened. I tested it. It's
Because
fine.
really, I was like, we have so much going on the rest of the year, starting next month.
Yeah, June's okay. I
Is
like
it?
the summer months so far. No one's wanted
Is
us to
it?
do anything.
Mm-hmm.
April, May is rough,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real rough.
and then early June is busy, and that's it.
You said, oh, but June's fine.
And then August. No, I'm saying.
So we get
That's it.
July, which we have to run 2 fireworks stands in July.
I mean, kinda.
All right. So
Anyways, I'd rather get COVID right now. Is all I'm saying.
that's true.
Licking
I-
doorknobs
me too.
at this
But
point.
that's what's going on in our house right now.
Yes.
Um,
So Fancy Friday, next Friday, wear your fancy dress. I will wear something fancy. I don't know.
I have
three
bow
fancy
ties and
outfits.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll fit around my neck anymore because I'm. That was
Sorry.
like she belly laughed at the fatness that I've turned into.
No, fat neck is funny. I don't know what to tell you.
I already have like a thick neck
Yeah.
of like on my shoulders, and it's because of like I used to be kind of ripped, so I have this neck, and then when I gain weight, the neck even gets bigger. Not in a what do they call it?
Gosh.
Aesthetically pleasing way. So
All right, I'm done
yes,
laughing at
it's not a joke. I was talking to my son about that. the other day. I was like, man, I wish I could. He he has a button-up shirt and he does the top button. I
Yeah.
was like, man, I wish I could do that. I told him, I was like, man, I have those problems that I have to get like a very large, big and tall shirt
Yeah.
if I want to do the neck.
top one. Yeah.
And I'm not that big. I mean, no joke. I weighed myself today. I'm 232,
Nice.
which is, well, I don't
Well,
know
you're
about
down
nice.
3 pounds. So
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
I'm still,
You've done nothing.
yeah.
This is I feel like we're already in a rant. This is when guys can change literally absolutely nothing and drop weight, and women could change everything, and they're like, "Look, I'm the same
I don't
weight
say
I was."
nothing. No, I
What
agree
did
with
you do
you.
differently this past couple weeks?
I drank less beer. That's literally all I did.
I literally cut out beer, and nothing's changed.
No, that's what I was saying. It was I did change. All I have to do is change something a little.
It's just
and it does-
unfair.
yeah,
is all I'm saying.
Oh, it's totally unfair. I'm agreeing with you. All I'm saying is I did change something, and that's what dropped me 3 pounds because I was at 235, which normally, like when I'm fit, like fit, I'm
Yeah.
like 205 to 210. And I know people like I'm only 6 feet tall, but I'm not a small person.
Yeah.
You know. So
I'm gonna keep us going off the rails. So
Let's
I
do
did
it.
a TDEE
Derailed.
calculator, which basically tells you like how much you should eat in a day if you whatever your activity level is, right? And then there's that really fun BMI chart that tells me
that's not fun.
in order to be healthy, like in the healthy category, I have to drop like 60 pounds from right now. And I'm like, I don't even want to know what that looks like. To me, that's a lot. 60. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could lose some weight, but 60 pounds is a lot.
I wouldn't like.
I
that.
don't even know what I would look like.
I wouldn't like it.
I feel like I'd be like 15 again.
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know that I would either.
And realistically, according to that chart, I'm supposed to be like 180.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could you imagine?
Your head would be so big.
I would be a freaking bobblehead. I'd be what was that? Night at the museum?
Yes.
I'd be the little Einsteins. I'd be like, no, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I haven't been that. I mean,
That chart
when
hurts
I
my
was
feelings.
ripped, I was like ripped. And this was like a very long time ago. I was 198, 199 with like 4% body fat.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you go to that chart and they go, oh, you're considered overweight.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah. I've now reached obese category, and I'm just like, listen, thank you. I don't know what to tell you, but there's no freaking way I'm going to drop 6. Like, even if I wanted to,
That'd be
I don't
weird.
want to be 60 pounds less because I feel like I'm just not,
That's a
that's
lot.
not my frame. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'd have to do 50.
I feel like because I already have hips don't go away. So it's like this weird, like, I don't know. Anyways, that rant of
Got
the
so
week.
many rants. Yeah. And make sure, I was like, while we're doing this, if we are doing this live here on YouTube, so
Yes. 'Cause you're
say
here.
hi in the chat
Yeah.
if you want, so that everybody knows who's in there. So if they want to talk to you, you talk amongst yourselves if
talk
you want.
trash if you
or
want
this
to.
could be a background thing and you're just chatting with each other. I'm totally cool with that.
Okay, let's get back on our schedule.
We don't have a schedule.
Yeah, we're on good thing.
No, we have COVID time. So
Yeah.
we're doing well with all that.
Yeah. Good thing.
All right.
So I feel like I'm cheating from last year.
Oh, every time, this is no joke. Every
you
time I
stealing
sit, no, see, that's the problem that I have. Every time that I sit down, I look over and she goes, "What'd you put on the good thing?" Oh, so what'd you put for your what'd you put? I was like,
because I
you
don't want
can't
this-
show up 5 minutes before we go live and then just copy my paper.
I can. What I was trying to do is not do the same as yours. But I know your good thing's not my good thing.
You don't know that.
I do.
Nope, I'm hiding it.
That's fine.
Then how do you know?
So my good thing is like from last week's good thing. So
Oh, man.
we had the baby shower, and we had so many people show up, and I just truly appreciate the people who could make it, and the people who couldn't, like they still like sent pictures of what they were doing during that weekend, even they're like, I know we
I
can't
didn't know
make
that.
it, but I want you to know this is what we're doing. And I'm
I
like,
didn't know that.
you don't even have to tell me what you're doing.
That's adorable.
Because if you can't make it, it's okay. But
I love that crap.
I know. I
Like
just
checking in with people. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I'm doing. I have a person in my life. I don't know who listens to this podcast, but I don't care. She's a sister of mine, and
All right.
There's a whole long story. If you guys want to know the personal story, text me.
Ooh,
I'll
come
tell
on
you.
over.
I'll tell you why I can't say certain things. But it's kind of like she says, "I miss you. I miss your face. Send me a picture of you and Sarah. What are you guys doing?" And she'll do the same for me, like when she's doing something, and I think that's adorable. You know, I was like, I think that's something that keeps people connected. So I didn't
Yes.
know that they did that. I
Yes.
didn't. I was like, I want to be there, but this is what we're doing.
Yes.
Love you, miss you.
Yes.
That's badass.
Like my bestie was an hour from here, which isn't that. I mean, we'll drive an hour to go see people, but if they had a thing, right? So they're doing a thing. They're an hour from here, and so she's like, "You have to send a picture of the baby shower," and I'm like, "Yes." And then she sends me a picture of her and her gin, and I'm like, "Yes," because you're on vacation. That's life.
Love that. I love that crap.
Yeah.
That's kind of my goofy relationship with my son-in-law Ryan.
Yeah.
Is like when we're trying a new beer, we gotta send a picture, or if we're out at a new place trying something different, like he sends me a picture. So that's it's a very nice touch.
Yes. Oh, I have to finish the rest of mine. And then my other thing was, so I don't know about the rest of you guys, but we are from like a decently small city, not as small as Scooters, like bigger than that. But
What do you mean by you're from? Oh, from where you grew
like
up?
in life, yeah.
Oh, or where we're at right now.
No, in life. Sacramento's big. But I'm from Madera, California. So smaller
Got it.
city, right?
Got it.
And so there are certain people who have literally been there. Like when I say since I was born, like they were literally at the hospital when I was born. That's how long I've known them.
Right.
So it's so amazing that they show up to certain things in our life because it just really solidifies how much, when we say it's family, no matter what, they are our family.
Oh, families. Yeah.
And I will say right now, the Bresslers are our family.
Oh, those
They
humans.
show up for everything, and they're so funny, and they're just the most lovely people ever. And no matter what, they are our family.
That's two people that I was actually pretty bummed that Y chromosomes weren't allowed at the party.
Yes.
Dudes weren't allowed, and which I totally get. Like you can make that decision however you want. Whatever you believe, your system of gender, non-gender, all it's up to you. That's your decision. Are you hiding?
It was ice.
Oh. But those two, I've met them multiple times throughout the years, and yeah, every time that they're around, I make poor decisions.
They're just
in a
so
fun,
amazing.
such a fun way. So,
and I told them, I was like, you guys need to just come visit us. And then Marcy was like, can I be on the podcast? And I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like anytime you want to come up, come be on the podcast with us.
we're going to talk about that
Okay.
with some announcements. What we're gonna do some different stuff.
All right. Do you want to do your
Coming up.
good thing? Because
Oh,
talked
good
for
thing.
a long time.
Mine's really lame.
Okay. Sorry.
Stop
You should have
looking
went
at
first. I can't. Bad eyesight. I can't even see that far.
All right, good thing. So I put tailgate got fixed on my SUV.
That is a good thing. It's been a while.
I've been fighting this thing it's been about a year.
Yeah.
But there's a little, not a huge story behind it, but we all go through little things like just that frustrate you. Like, oh man, we're in a rental right now.
Yeah.
And
Or
the
house.
frustration level, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rental house.
Not car.
Our frustration is like,
Whew.
my doctor says I have high blood pressure. Well, I was like, well, then find me a different place to live. But this is, little things are constantly going wrong in this unit that we live in. And we don't live in a small unit. How many bedrooms we got?
We have 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
No,
like
we don't have one,
4.
two,
We have
4
4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
3 bathrooms.
It's like 2,000 square feet.
It's a very large place that we're
Yeah.
renting for a good, decent dollar amount.
That's why we're
the
still
rent
here.
is, yeah. But my God, there's always something broken.
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
always. And as soon as it gets fixed, something else is broken.
Right.
Like right now we have shower head problem. It's only a problem to me.
Right.
But the garbage disposal went out.
Yes. That's
What's the
an
other
issue.
one?
Oh, it's leaking in the garage.
It's leaking in the garage.
Whoever lives above our garage, it's leaking into our garage.
So it's like, but that's like it's in a constant rotation.
Yeah.
Like as soon as like something gets fixed, something because we were out. Oh, gosh, dang it, we were without a heating dryer for
God.
2 years.
Yeah.
Over 2 years.
Yeah. We air dried our laundry for 2
because
years.
they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. That was fun.
So maybe that'll be my rant. But
It already is.
no, but so my and everything's like we have multiple cars in the house, and that's not for us to say, oh my gosh, we're doing great. It was like, no, we started at the bottom. Now we live in
here.
Canada.
Oh.
I mean, sorry, I felt that was Drake.
We're not in Canada yet.
No, we've come a long way. As like I've come from no place to live and no vehicle in life to now we have multiple vehicles, a place to live, those kind of things. But right now, we don't have any issues with our vehicles.
Right.
But when you have multiple vehicles, there's always going to be something going on.
Yeah.
But the tailgate, oh my gosh, I do games and I put stuff in the back. That's why we got this SUV, and the tailgate hasn't been working for like a year. And then we reschedule appointments because we forget, and they ordered the part.
We didn't forget. There was an event that showed up that we weren't anticipating, so we had to move.
That was the first time.
But we only did it one time. You're confusing it with Lacey's car.
Didn't we already talk about this?
Yes. No, we talked about it with Ryan and Bailey, but not on here. Anyways,
On something.
we only had to move it one time. And the cool thing was, again, right? We're like,
Oh, this is a
always
good
put
thing.
good karma in the
Yeah,
universe.
this is a good piece.
It cost us nothing. For some reason, it was covered under warranty.
And at
even
what is
though
it, a 2017?
Yes.
I mean,
We're at 6 years. I don't know
I've
what
never
happened.
I've
oh,
never.
you know, it's 10-year.
Well, I didn't think it was 10-year, that kind of warranty. I thought it was like drivetrain.
Yeah,
or
same.
That,
I don't
yeah, I
know.
was like,
whatever. They said we didn't
it
know any
cost
money.
$0
So,
and 2
whatever.
hours of my time. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, 2 hours of my time. I walked to Starbucks.
Yeah.
It was to me, it was a cool day.
Yeah.
So that's my good thing. I was like, I had an experience that day. I did all that. I walked a couple miles to a Starbucks, walked back, and then I ended up at one of our favorite breweries right after at Log Off.
Yeah.
Had a good conversation with the manager there because she's just a good human being. So it was just, it turned out to be a really good,
Nice.
a good day that was not about good things, but the day turned out very well.
To be a good thing. Yeah. All right.
Woo!
Now that we've ranted, it's time for the rant of the week.
Oh,
Wait, did you make a thing?
What do you mean? No, stop. I can only do so much in a week.
Now I have to think of something.
So we decided, because we decided to do this earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she thinks that,
We said this last week, but whatever. Anyways.
not about rant of the week.
Yeah, we did.
Oh. We're going to
I'll go first.
There's a new segment called Rant of the Week.
That's pretty good.
Okay. But I haven't made a little, what are they called in?
Blurby thing.
Blurby segue.
Yeah.
I'll write something
Blurby noise.
this week. We're still figuring this out, guys, because if you guys don't like the rant of the week, please tell us. If you do like it, let us know.
Mine's a
But
good one.
rant of the week.
And I'm not going to say who this is about.
Oh, it's about me, huh?
No.
You're looking at me like right into my
Who else
dead space in my brain.
I'll look at the camera. So when you do something nice for somebody, or you ask somebody for a favor,
Lectures.
shut up and say thank you.
Oh.
You have zero right to go back to them and say, well, now you didn't do it right. You did me a favor and you did it wrong. You can go F off. Sorry for my language. You can go literally F off. Because if you don't want me to do it again, then don't ask me. But don't you friggin' dare ask somebody do you a favor and then complain that they did the favor. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is like my biggest complaint. And I'm not going to say who this is towards. It might be because of humans who are in our house, but I can't tell you how many times this week I've said, I'm not your kid's babysitter. That's not who I am. So I'm gonna need you to figure this out.
Yeah, so you can do the math on that one.
Yeah.
We do have an extra human in this house.
And I mean, realistically, the parent doesn't listen. But there's been so many times.
Neither does the kid.
I know. Where, though they might, because Raya's listening, where we did this favor because now this person had nowhere to go. And then you want to come at me and say, well, they should be doing these things. Whew. So many times I was like, then
Then
I have 3 kids.
they're like, here you go.
Yes. Do it your friggin' self then. But the way I parent's not the way you parent. So we're not going to be on the same terms.
No.
I'm doing you a favor by giving you a break and giving them a break. So just shut up and say thank you. I appreciate the fact that you are paying for my child to live and eat and have a house over a roof over their head, and just shut up and say thank you. Whew. Yes, Becca, that lady is different.
But I mean, hold on. Let's go on the flip side. Let's go on the flip side. I agree with you.
My life motto, by the way.
1,000,000,000%.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's shut up and say thank you.
Yes.
Like she said that to our children so
I said
many
it
times.
to Scooter.
Yeah, I was like,
I've had to.
somebody did something nice to me and for me,
Yes.
to me, at me, whatever. And I was like, oh, but they didn't do this and they didn't. She goes, it was a favor. They did it for free.
Right.
Shut up. Say thank you.
Yes. Don't ask them
Which
again
are-
if you're so
that's
unhappy.
Contradictory. Because you can't shut up and say thank you.
Now's not the time.
Be humble. Sit down. Sit down and say thank you. No, but I go on the flip side. I was like, we know how difficult teenagers can be.
Yes.
So it's not going to be really a rant, but it's kind of a speech that I had with the human that's here. Because when she's here, she's very like sweet and like, hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then really sweet. And then she sat down at dinner and I was like, okay. With all that's going on, what was the statement I said? I said, of all things, as us as human beings, please don't mistake my niceness as weakness or ignorance.
Yeah.
I said, we know you can be a handful. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
So start telling us how you really are.
Yes.
And maybe we can get through this.
Yes.
That was kind of I was like, okay.
Yes.
Just be real.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my rant.
That was mine.
Just be real. Mine's not as close to the heart, I guess. But I'm down here. Mine is going to be very, very simple, very short. I feel when you're in a vehicle,
Oh no.
right, and somebody's about to bump into you or something like that, it's okay to honk.
Yeah.
That's what the horn's for. Or something's in your way, or somebody's not going in front of you. Is like, burp, burp. Oh, look at the green light, guys. Burp, burp. But
It's real loud.
what does that do?
I don't know.
What does that do?
You woke the dog.
I know I ticked off the dog.
Yeah.
But what does that do? It does
It
nothing.
makes people feel better.
It makes the person in the car that's pushing it
Yeah.
feel worse.
No. They feel
Because
better
now they're
about it.
angry.
But they were already angry.
Yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't push
And
the
now
button.
it's like, do you feel like if you're angry, you say you're going to feel better if you go out there and throw somebody on the ground? Do you feel better?
Sometimes.
I mean,
Depends on the day.
okay. Have you ever done that?
No.
Okay, I have. You don't feel better. You feel worse because you're just like, oh, I just hurt another human.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
It's like, I've physically had altercations with people, and that aggression, it does not clear your conscience. It doesn't make you feel better. Beating the crap out of somebody or honking that horn for 15 to 30 seconds straight
Yeah.
when that person can't really go anywhere anyways.
Yeah, I don't get that part. Like if we're stuck at a light and I can't go left because the lane's blocked, but you want to honk at me so I can be in the middle of an intersection. What was the point of that?
Well, I think to them, it's a release of energy, a release of frustration. But I was like, but now the other person that can't do anything now feels like shit,
Yeah. Ooh, language.
feels bad about where they're at in the situation they're in.
See, I'm the
So
opposite. If
you just
somebody
made
honked,
people-
I've literally almost backed up because somebody honked at me because they wanted me to go in the middle of the intersection. I almost put my car in park. I was like, you can go F off right now. There's nowhere for me to go. I don't
Okay,
even like you. You
and-
can go around me.
But I think I'm just talking to you as a 49-year-old. Like
Yes.
10 years ago, I'd have got out of my car.
I'm not getting
and
in my
got up
car.
and I would have smacked someone.
I'll just be in park.
But I'm saying over the years, I've realized that it solves nothing. You don't actually feel better.
Yeah.
It's not a release of anything. So, but and I just say this because I witness it pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
Because we live, less than a
war
block?
zone.
Well, we really do. We live like less than a block from a school, 2 schools, less than a block from both. And when people go to pick up kids,
Oh man, they lose their minds.
I've seen people get out of their cars, throw their big gulp
Yeah.
on somebody else's car, get out. I've seen people get in fights.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're going to pick up your kid.
Yeah.
Like, walk. Because realistically, we all live within like a 2-mile radius.
Right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't go to that school.
Yeah. They could literally park in front of our house and then walk. But everybody wants to go and just be like the pickup service for their child.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It happened like today and
Yeah.
yesterday. It happens pretty much every day.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, good rant.
That's going to be rant of the week. If this is a good thing that we want to, not a good thing, but if rant of the week is something you guys want to put in there, submit your rants. Like, submit them to us.
Oh, we'll talk about
we'll talk about them.
Yeah.
Like, hit us up, SarahandScooter@gmail.com. That might change, but SarahandScooter@gmail.com. Well, because we share that with a lot of other things
Oh,
that
I see
we
what
do.
you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
So we might make a separate one for the podcast. That's what I was thinking, but not right at this moment. Or hit us up. You can leave a comment on our YouTube. You can also
Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram's probably the easiest.
Yeah. I don't check anything, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll check them.
Yeah.
I do check them. Instagram, Sarah and Scooter. Yeah, let us know what your rants are because we'll talk about them because we probably align
Somewhere.
in these rants.
Maybe.
All right. So we're gonna keep going serious. Anybody ready to just keep going serious?
Is it serious?
I think so.
Okay. Advise me not.
This is the segment where we talk about certain things that we just give it our experience about. What are you laughing about?
So, Becca said today's rant, my driver's license was expired, so the Instacart lady took my wine I needed for cooking. It's like, first off, why is your driver's license expired?
And
secondly, nobody drinks cooking wine.
But we're on to the next subject,
unless you're
Rebecca,
past.
and this is a real conversation. Your license plates were expired for a year.
They're not expired. She hasn't put them on yet.
That's my point.
They're not expired.
Hold on. Listen to me for a second. Her license plates that were on the car were expired for a year. And I went out there.
Oh,
at
that
one
was her
point.
old car. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Does that change the story at all?
Yes.
No.
Because now she has a new car with temporary license plates that have been on for like a year and a
Again,
half.
It's 4 screws. 4 screws. So, Rebecca, when you come by the next time, just let me know. Stop here. I will put your plates on for you. I promise.
We'll bring the plates, Becca.
Because I did it on her last car too.
Yeah.
When they were
time.
expired for a year. So no, we're getting on to advice.
Advise me not.
Love you, sis.
Hilarious.
But advise me not. This is our segment where we pick a topic or you guys pick a topic, and we give you our experience on it. We are not licensed we're licensed in things, but not on giving advice.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
So
License
this
to
is
kill.
It's kind of cathartic for all of us. You're supposed to keep that quiet.
No. It's too
Like,
late now.
Now people will fear you
They
more.
should. They should.
More than they already do.
Anyways, what are we talking about today?
I don't know. You tell me. You came up with the topic.
There was multiple topics, so we tried to figure out how to combine them into one.
No, we
But
didn't. We picked
What?
one.
No, we picked 2.
It was but the second one is just say something.
That's
oh my goodness.
Oh my God! Shut your face. That's all we're trying to do.
Derailed.
So it was a combination of how to be more authentically yourself and what have you done to change yourself from your upbringing. So this is going to start off as a rant. So I worked with this lady for like 4 years, and she was in her 50s. And for some reason, she was so determined that if her parents hadn't moved her out of Los Angeles when she was like 14, 15, she would have been a model. And that's the reason her whole life had turned to crap. Now she was married, but she also showed up to work drunk almost every single day. But she was 5'4".
That's real?
She was for real.
No, this is a real story.
This is a real person.
Her life turned to crap.
Her life was crap because her parents moved her from Los Angeles, and she complained every single day.
So she couldn't be a model.
Because she couldn't be a model at 5'4".
Don't we have somebody in the family that said they would have been a basketball star too?
In our family?
Yeah,
No.
but
I mean, my dad. But
no,
that was legit.
Before that, I was like, I was so great at sports,
No.
but my dad wouldn't let me play.
Oh, that was us. I mean, all of us, really.
No,
The whole
there's a
damn
story
family.
about that.
Anyways, so she was so determined that she was going to be like this model and life would have been different. But they moved her from Los Angeles. And I was
Lord.
like, and so she never.
How old's this human? When they started, when you met them, when they were starting to complain?
52?
No, when
52 is when I met her. And every single
What?
day at work, she complained about the same thing.
52.
52. And I said, Claudia.
Oh, you just called something. Oh,
Well, she's not going to listen.
you
Claudia.
know, what if Claudia gets? Oh man, we're gonna.
Well, Claudia will know. I've already had this conversation with her. One, you're 52. You got to let it go. And stop yelling at your dad. But they're German, so when she talked to him, everything sounded like yelling. Even if she was happy, it was still yelling. But also, like, one, you're like 5'2". You're not gonna be a model. You were never going to be a model.
Oh my God.
But how do you have your whole life where you decide I'm not gonna let it go any further than this because I didn't want to leave Los Angeles at the age of 14 or 15? She literally graduated high school, became an office assistant for the state, and never went any further because she was so like stuck on.
Because something happened. She was 14.
Yeah, yes.
So we're talking. I mean, I'm decent at math, so it's almost 40 years.
Yes.
She couldn't get her life together.
She could not.
Because she couldn't be a model.
Yes. She couldn't have been a model when she was 14 or 15. And that literally changed her whole trajectory in life. And I was like, I don't think that's how it works. I'll be honest. I think you could have done different things in life.
Oh, that hurts my brain. So
Yeah.
much.
So that leads back to the topic of what are some things that like you grew up with that one you struggle to like, I want to do better than this because this is how I raised. I want to do a little bit better for my kids and myself. That leads you to being more yourself than you even realize. That makes sense?
It does. It's a very long title of.
You
of a
told me to
segment,
combine two. I had two different things.
But all right, yeah. Well, this is what I wrote down from your sticky note that you slapped on here right before we went live. What have you done to change yourself from your upbringing?
Wait, I have to say this real quick because I might cry. Did you see Mariah's message?
No, I saw that.
Okay, I'm going to share this with all of you guys.
Going live.
So Mariah got an email today that says she didn't get into UC Davis, but she wants to be a vet. Wait. Good thing. We're back. So Mariah got an email today that says she didn't get into UC Davis, and I was like, it's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Like, that's life. We'll do community college. She already got accepted to like 2 other CSUs. Anyways, she just texts us and says she got accepted to Cal Poly SLO, and I might cry because
Is that also a UC?
No, it's a CSU.
I didn't know.
Wait, is it a UC? UC Cal Poly? No, it's a UC. It is a UC, but it's also my dad's alumni. And it's like one of my favorite campuses of all times. And she just got in, and I just want to cry right now.
But hold
give
on,
her a
like
hug.
it's also like UC Davis, and that's another UC.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she didn't get into Davis.
That's what I was thinking. And then UCSB is going to tell us on the 21st if she gets in. Sorry, seriously. Super emotional. I want to go hug her, but she has COVID, and I don't want the germs. But
You said you wanted COVID.
I know, but not right now. Oh, I'm so excited for her.
All right. So, I mean,
Sorry.
if she didn't have COVID, she would be guesting on our podcast right now.
I'm so excited.
That's a very exciting thing to talk
Oh, man.
about.
I can't wait to tell my dad.
Oh God. So we'll be talking to her dad later tonight.
Yes.
For sure. Once we're done with this. This is what life is. This is why we do this, is because real life happens in real time.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, that's amazing.
Go back to Advise Me Not. Advise Me Not. All right.
All right. So we're back. We're back to Advise Me Not. All right.
You want to go first?
You went first. You were talking about
No,
Claudia.
but I didn't talk about my childhood. I talk about Claudia's childhood.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Example.
that's kind of an example. It's
Yeah.
like, I think we all get stuck in those ruts. It's really hard to switch from what just happened. But, so I'll cry later.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So upbringing. So I think I didn't really write anything down,
Oh, okay.
but I think my most recent thing that I've been doing, and then I'll go retro. Anybody want to see just me? Look, it's the first time it'll just be on me.
Thank you.
So much pressure. Look at now she's slouching, sitting down, like hunched
Wiping
over.
my tears away. It's fine.
Just recently, like within the last, I'd say 5 to 10 years, I said that's recently, but I was like, I am older, guys. So 5 to 10 years, it's checking in with people and actually asking them how they're doing. That's something that just wasn't a norm for me growing up. Everybody just assumed everybody was fine and we'll get through it. Those types of things. So I think that's my most current, is getting away from that. Because we've talked about other traits and other things that we've been dealing with. But I think that's my big one right now, is like, it's okay to reach out to your sister, your brother, and say, hey, dude, love you.
Right.
And not expect a response.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to just say, hey, check it in. Love
Because
you.
I feel like a while ago, it used to bother you
Finger guns.
when people didn't respond. You're like, well, I keep reaching out and nothing's happening. And you're like, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm moving not all the way past that, because sometimes it's a question and sometimes it's time not sensitive. Yeah, time sensitive. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to plan something for this date, and then no response, no response, no response, no response, and then that date is next week.
Right.
And they're like, okay. And then they go, well, I can't really make it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I've been reaching out to you for 6 freaking months.
Yeah.
So that's been that's another rant. But like, if you were responded, I was like, I don't just show up on a whim. I don't do that to people.
No.
I tell them at least months in advance. Months.
Yeah.
And I've been canceled on when it comes to people that are important to me so many times. So I think I'm working on that, not taking it to heart and just saying, hey, that's where they are in their life,
Yeah.
and moving on.
Yeah.
That's one. I have many
A
others.
gajillion. So I feel like in our family, we talk about a lot about how we aren't great communicators. There's some of us who will overshare what's happening in life, and then a lot of us who just, if you ask us, we'll tell you. And some of us are like, if you ask us, we still won't tell you, right? There's like this section of whatever it is. So I feel like coming in to figure out who I am, I'll tell you, but it's hard for me to be like, if you ask me, I'll tell you. But it's hard for me to be the one who just goes out and like puts forward everything that's happening. Like, I know my sister Becca, that is like her thing. She is so like great at just being able to go and saying, let me word vomit all over you and tell you everything that's happening in our life. Like, to the point where sometimes people are like, you share too much. And she's like, it's just stuff. And then there's some of us who are like, even if you ask and you know that crappy things are happening, they still won't tell you what's happening. Like, it's that weird thing of, because we grew up, we didn't talk about a lot of feelings and things and what's happening in our lives. It was more of, even when our parents argued, we knew it was an argument because mom would go for a drive. But it wasn't like our parents are like, I'm not doing okay. This is what's happening. You and your mom and I aren't agreeing. Like, it wasn't one of those things of, they didn't really argue in front of us. They would argue and then walk away from each other, take a break, and then come back. So I don't know that we've ever like had the skills to have like a healthy argument. And so I know for me personally, I shut down very quickly. When I get mad, frustrated, annoyed, it's very easy for me to be like, and I'm done. Yeah. I don't want to do this, because then I also don't want to get mean. And I don't always mean to, but in my head, I'm like, I want to say all the mean things I've been thinking and holding on to, and I just want to say them all right now. So where was I going with this? What I was trying to say was, communication for me is like, I know that to be totally me is I want to be able to say what's on my heart, but I don't always know that I have the tools to say what's on my heart.
You are, I mean, you're a lot less mean as time goes
Yeah.
on. And I am too.
It's a skill.
It's just something about us that we're like, it's not, I get, over the years, I've gotten less and less mad about things that are going on. And you get less hurtful and attacky.
Yeah.
And same with me. I was like, less. I'm not saying it does not go away. I was like, it never goes away.
Right.
Because what did you say? Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Is because like if I'm hurting, I'm bringing you down with me.
Right.
And what was I think it's I don't know if it's even a quote, but some of the movies we watch and some of the shows, it's kind of like the people that you trust are the people that can hurt you.
Yes. Because they know you.
Yeah, it's like when you pull people into your trust circle or whatever it is, they're the people that can hurt you.
Yes.
The people that are outside of that, you're like, I'm good.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, man.
Right.
Like, cool, let's go hang out for a little bit, but it's like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So I think that's something that I worked on before what I'm working on now. That was something that I was currently working on when I met you, over 10, 11 years. It's been 11 years. That was something I was working on at that point was, keeping the people that you trust closer, and then the people you don't trust is like they don't need to be that close.
Yeah.
Kind of stepping away from that. So yeah, and that's a hard thing to break. I was like, anybody that's had is a child, which we all were, we learned good and bad habits. And yeah, that's a big one, because we talked about toxic relationships at one point. It's like they could be your family.
Yeah.
So keep them at arm's length. Just because they're a family doesn't mean they have to be in your trust circle.
Yeah.
Guys.
And I have to say too, like when I say, again, communication is not our strong suit, but one thing that is that we are very, like I was raised up to be very family oriented. Like to the point where it's probably not that I'm not one of those people like, me and my kids are best friends. I don't care about that. If I have to tell my kid to go do something and discipline them, that's whatever. But to the point where I talk about this a lot, but my sister Rebecca had a closer relationship to my parents when it came to like speaking her truth and just saying this is what's happening and being like so not scared of what the result would be. And I feel like, I don't know how, somehow I raised 3 humans who are pretty good with coming to me and saying, this is going to upset you, but this is what just happened. Like most of the time, it's a good amount of time where they'll come to me and be like, I don't want to have to say this, but this is what just happened. Yeah. And that part I am super appreciative of. I don't know which side of like, has to be my mom's side, because I'll be honest, my dad's still real rough. But it was something that I learned. Yes, he is. He's a loving human being.
Love your dad.
Yes, but he's just as awkward as I am when it comes to conversation.
I didn't say it wasn't awkward.
Yeah, so it makes it harder to be like, I want to open up and share these things with you. When it's, I don't know, but I do feel like I am thankful of having that part of my parents, because even dad is really good at opening up to people, even if it was us, we just didn't know that he was that person, but we saw that he was that person with other people. And so it was that weird thing of like, well, how come you can have that conversation with like your students or like these random people from our neighborhood, but you don't have that relationship with us, versus mom, where she had that with everybody. So it's like when we talk about bringing those things from our childhood and maybe not overcoming them, but also adapting them to who you want to be, is I love that the kids can come to me. I love that the kids' friends will come to me and be like, Miss Sarah, I have to tell you about the tea that's happening at school today, or I have to tell you what's been going on, or let me show you this video of what I've been doing. Like, I do appreciate that I was taught that side of being like this gentle human being where people can come and share what's going on in their lives with me.
I agree with you 1,000,000,000%, and I wish I had that DNA. Because I have our children's friends will come to me.
Yeah.
but my own children do not. And I'm talking about the children of my house. It for some reason I have this weird structure of you have to be an adult and be responsible for your own being before I'll even listen to what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Because I always feel like your opinions matter, but not so much. I have that persona in me. So that I think that's probably why your dad and I was like, I love your dad.
Yeah.
I was like, because he's very similar.
Yes.
I'm very similar to your father. And I think that's why him and I connect.
Yeah.
Like I was some of the, those moments, like when he called me son when we got married, I was like, you guys said he was this hard ass and all this stuff. He gave me a big hug and kissed me on the cheek and called me son. And I'm like, what? Who's this badass, hard person that you guys talked about? I was like, okay. So,
you know the stories.
Oh, I do know the stories, but I feel like everybody, I mean, I know stories of my dad too, but my dad was never like that with me. I know my dad as the guy who used to like bust people's teeth out with a pool stick.
Yeah.
You know, those are the stories I get. And I'm like, he was never like that with me.
Yeah.
Like it's everybody has a different interpretation of what goes on.
Yeah.
God, what are we even talking about?
I don't know. I think
mine was here was the thing. When you talk about separating yourself, kind of like separating yourself from your childhood, like get over it and move on and learn something different. I feel like I was raised like we were always poor. And I don't know if we actually were.
I don't think you were.
I mean, we lived in a trailer park behind a bar.
Yeah,
so,
but it was like owned property, and your parents like owned the bar. So I don't know that
for
it's
a while, and
right.
then that bar went under, and I mean, but I do remember growing up with a lot of mice in the trailer. I still have that. I still have to deal with like I don't have a lot of memories as a kid, but I was always told for so many years by my mother that we're poor. No, we can't afford those things. No, we don't have the money. So I was like, all right. So I did stupid things to get money, you know? So I think that was kind of my thing. It was like, right now, I was like, I don't want to act. We're not poor, you know? And you have this, you have this checks and balances for me of telling me, it's like, we're not poor, but stop spending so much stinking money.
Yeah.
Which I need to be in check on those points, but it's one of those things of it's okay to spend some money just because it makes you happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we get hung up on this poverty thing. So I've dealt with that for quite a while, but it's also this, on the flip side, that's just one small topic I was just thinking of. But being present, you talk about what was it? You said shut up and
say thank you.
Say thank you, which still doesn't make sense to me. But because how can you say
Turn the
something
cup upside down?
How can you say something and shut up at the same time? I was like, oh, I can't do this. Then she's like, you want to argue semantics? And then, all right. Then I get put in my place because she's a much smarter human than I am. I think when it comes to I have spent so many years treating my work family or my community family better than my family.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm currently working on. And that was kind of my upbringing too. My dad, my father, really treated other people very well. He was also kind of the star of the show and all that kind of stuff, but wasn't very present.
Yeah.
And that's not, it's not a dig. It's not an attack at it's just who he was at that time. I think he wants to do something different, but what I'm trying to separate from the generation of that is now that we're in 2023, and if somebody sees your social media posts that like, oh, I'm on a beach and I'm just, I was like, oh, they're doing great, so I don't have to check in with them. I was like, that's something I'm working on, because that's how I was treated with my parents and my upbringing.
Yeah.
I heard you were doing well, so I didn't reach out. I know you're busy,
Right.
so I didn't reach out.
Yeah.
You're always got something to do, so I know you're it was like, if they're busy, they'll respond later.
Yeah.
If they're too busy, they just don't respond.
Yeah.
But if you stop reaching out to that person, that was kind of how I was raised, is like, people didn't reach out because I'm doing my fingers in the air, they knew you were doing well, or so and so said you were doing well, so they didn't check in.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's crap. Like,
Yeah.
so that's something that I've been trying to distance myself from my upbringing.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
I'm going to go what you said and then go backwards. So we have this thing too where we know that, like, my dad's terrible at reaching out. Like, he thinks he's reached out and like called on you and whatever, but it could be months since he's done it, or a year since he's done it.
Right.
And so a lot of my siblings will get to the point where, like, well, he never calls us. And I'm like, well, you could use the phone. Like, just because we know
Call
we
him.
come from a family of like not good communicators doesn't mean you can't be a better communicator. Right. So I've gotten to the point of, I don't assume that because he hasn't contacted me, he's not thinking about me, because that to me doesn't make any sense. It's just not who he is. And it's more likely that I'm going to change to be who I want to be than he's going to change to be who I want him to be. So I will reach out to him more than he'll reach out to me. And it used to be like, man, I wish he would reach out more, and that's really hurtful. And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, but why? Why can't I'm an adult. I'm not a child anymore. Why can't I reach out to him?
I mean, I think that's where you become an adult. Let's go back to this person that was 52.
Yeah.
Like, you can be 52 and not an adult.
Right.
And I think that's a big piece right there. It's like, so many humans are like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever, and they want to be treated like I'm an adult. And I was like, well, do something adult then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do something like that. Like, have a good conversation, reach out to someone, be a good contact to your family. I mean, when you start, I always feel, not always, but I felt that the more that you reach out to your family, the people that are important, that's when you actually are becoming an adult.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And some people, it never happens. Some people, it never happens.
Yeah.
So stop waiting for that person that never reaches out to reach out to you.
Right.
Because if they're known as that person that never reaches out to you, then they're probably the person that never reaches out to you. So, so reach out to them.
Yeah.
And
Who's it gonna hurt?
They could be coming from that mentality. It was like, oh, I saw their Facebook, Instagram posts and they're doing great. I was like, no, social media is what you want people to see. You know, either it's a lost leader. It was like, you want them to ask you what's wrong, or you want people to go, wow, they're doing great. That's what it is. It's media.
Right.
It's media.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm big on that. At least recently, I was like, check in with your people. Check in on the people that aren't good at reaching out.
Yeah.
And just don't stop.
Right.
Put in a calendar.
Yeah. Make it like a weekly, monthly thing where you're like,
Put it
I'm
in a
going to
calendar.
reach out to this person.
I had a really good friend of mine going through a really rough time just within the last 6-7 months, and just quit social media for like, it was only like 3 or 4 days, to be honest, but wasn't doing well. And I said, listen, no matter what, I'm checking in on you every single day until you get through this. And he said, thank you. And I did. I just checked on him every day until he stopped responding.
Yeah.
And then he was back on social media and things were, I was like, okay. It was like, that's what we should be doing. And I think we come from a generation, at least our parents' generation, to where you don't talk about that kind of crap.
Yeah.
So break free from that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So my other thing I was going to say was, I find it interesting. Me and Scooter have different opinions when it comes to money. So different. But
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because on both sides, neither of us were, when we were growing up, we didn't have money, like, right? But my dad would spend money and like figure it out. I'm gonna buy something and I'll figure it out. We need a car, I'll figure it out. And he would just buy things and then later figure it out. Or he'd have to file for bankruptcy. Or he'd have to do these things to make it figure it out. So I am more reserved when it comes to spending money. And then also that when I was in my first like real relationship, the amount of times where I had the money in my bank account drained where I couldn't pay for bills was like a point where I never in my life want to ever get back to. So I am super reserved when it comes to spending money. When it comes to like household things, it's whatever. If we need it, that's fine. If we want to go on a trip, I'm cool with that. But there's like certain things of where when we have to spend money on like frivolous things, it's super hard for me. And it's like it takes me to this place of like I have like zero control of what's happening, and I feel like now I have to work. I work my butt off every single day. Now I have to work even harder because now everyone in the house wants something. And so and it feels like I have to like make sure it can be a thing. So it's interesting to me how like you don't have as much reservation on like, you're like, it's just money. We'll figure it out. It's going to be fine. And I know it will be, but in the back of my head, it's not going to be okay. And it's like, it destroys me some days when I can't always give the things that I know we want to do. And it's like one of those things of just like, I want to be loose, and we do a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. We travel and do things and buy things that are stupid all the time. But there are just certain days where I can't handle the responses of the family of like, I want to do this and this and this and this. And it just crumbles me.
I look at it. Here's my opinion on here. We both got married as children.
Yes.
Okay. Both of us.
The first time, not to each other.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
we both got married as children. So that changed our perspective going forward into our other relationships, especially when it comes to finances.
Yes.
Because the way I look at my first relationship, first marriage and everything was I worked all the time. All of the time. This is just a perspective. But I do have, yeah, I keep my receipts. No. I worked a lot when it came to working for myself, opening up my own business, buying a house when I was 19, opening my own business at 19, doing all those types of things. So I worked a lot. We're talking beginning of the day till late at night. And I didn't get to experience the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But the other people that were in my house got to experience the fun stuff. We're talking cruises. We're talking trips to Disneyland. I went to Disneyland for my first time in my whole life last year.
Yes.
But my children had been there multiple times growing up. So you got to look at this. That was the sacrifice I felt I needed to make, right? So I worked a ton, but the other people in the household got to enjoy the fruits of that work. So now, not now, but it was like, as I got out of that kind of relationships and moved on, I was like, I want to spend the money that I make on me.
Yeah.
I want to do something fun. Like if I want to buy a guitar, I'm going to buy a guitar.
Right.
You know why? Because I can, and rent's still paid.
Right.
We still own a car. I'm still looking at it as like, it's not like I'm living on the street and then spending $1,000 on a guitar.
Right.
It's something that I can do now.
Yeah.
Because I spent most of my growing up, becoming an adult life, working a lot.
Yeah.
Tons and tons and tons. And it's not a complaint. It's more of a like, it's fact. Like
Yeah.
I worked 7 days a week, owned a company at 19, 20, ended up working, it's just like I worked a lot. Right out of high school.
Yeah.
So now I was like, as somebody that's old, like 30 years later,
Yeah.
I'd like to enjoy some of the money and do something that I kind of missed at that point. And it's not, to me, it's people say, "Oh, it's a midlife crisis." Like, well, then why do I do it every year? Like, there's no midlife crisis here. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
if we have money, what are we going to do with it when we're dead?
Right.
So, and it's not about stuff. It's about experiences.
Yeah.
So I understand that too. I'm not like buying stuff. Like we don't have fancy cars.
No, but you do like stuff.
I do like stuff, but I like stuff that gives me enjoyment.
Right.
Like games,
Yeah.
like video games.
Record player.
I want a record player right now, and she took it out of the Amazon cart, and I was like, "Come on, I have the new De La Soul that I've been waiting 35 years to come out on an album. It came out, and she won't give me a record player. She just took it out of the Amazon cart and just ordered some soap. And I was like, "Come on, I just want a record player.
Oh gosh.
It's only a couple $100. It's not like it's $1,000. It's like $2 something, just so I can put my pretty little De La Soul album that I listened to when
And
I
I
was."
do appreciate we're at the point in our lives where we can just say it's just a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my head, as I work, I'm like, it's still 1.5 audits, right? It's for me, it's
Yes.
still,
And I
still
understand that
calculating
too.
what more it takes.
And I look
to
at
get
it,
those
and I know I have come from a place when I say it's only a couple $100. I've also come from a place where a couple $100 could save me for a month.
Yes.
Like I could get a bus pass.
Right.
I could find a place to sleep.
Yeah.
I could wash my clothes and find a job for $200.
Yeah.
Like I come from that. I mean, I come from that spot too. So it's not like we're sitting there like we're hoity-toity. It's like we do understand when it comes to coming from a place of having $0 and nowhere to go.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And thank you, John, for both your
What
comments.
is happening?
I totally forgot my good thing. I forgot one more good thing.
John, do you know what? That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing about you, dude. Is like I disagree with you because shut up and say thank you makes no sense
Yes,
in my
it
brain
does.
because you can't do both at the same time. But then on the flip side, when she talks about flipping over the cup, it was like, am I just arguing semantics? Because it
Yes.
makes sense.
Yes.
Like, just say thank you.
Yes. That's it.
No, I agree. I agree.
Stop your whining. Say thank you. That's what it means.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I do agree with you, my dude.
All right. Do you want to start up with what's up? Because I want to go grab my other thing that's like my shout out.
What are you talking
Portion.
about? Oh no, I didn't know it was a production. We're not getting to there yet.
What? We're on this one.
We're on What's Up in Your Area.
I know. And then this
Oh,
one.
all right.
Get my thing.
So I haven't made I'll just put it on me, you know. Everybody wants to see Sarah, but I'm here too. All right. So I haven't made these leaders for these things even though they just came up with it. But what's up in your area? What we're trying to do is pick a place. We were trying to help people that listen to the show kind of find something that might be relevant to them in their area. So I'm going to come up with one real quick, and then she's going to say something about what's up in the area. And then I'm going to kind of show you a tool that is very, very useful when it comes to finding things. So we picked Fresno.
Yeah.
Because we go there more than any other place, I think.
I think so.
Besides Sacramento, where we're at right now. Oh, now you know where we're at. So, if anybody's, I mean, I've only been like once or twice in my life, but it is an experience. It's a little more fun, I think, than for kids and stuff like that. But it's Saturday and Sunday. Did you know in Fresno Monster Jams this weekend?
I did. I saw that at Save Mart Center.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So, I mean, I've been a couple times in Montana, which is a whole different experience than probably going in Fresno.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But hold on. What's happening?
What?
Oh, Be Real just started.
Oh, no.
All right. Be Real. Anybody do Be Real?
No.
I know some of my older kids do it. I'm
Wait,
gonna do a
is
Be
that
Real.
is that your whole thing? It's weird now with silence. Did you do your whole what's in your area?
Yeah, I was just gonna pick the one, and then
Okay.
you pick one, pick something, and then we'll go. I
So
wanna show
I
people some stuff,
apologize
something cool.
because I feel like I should have done mine last week. But there's a thing in Fresno called Rogue Festival. And when I looked it up,
What's
it's
that?
like if you've never heard of Fringe Festival in like Edinburgh.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. It's like a mini fringe that happens in Tower District. So there's theater, there's music, there's dance, there's comedy, there's magic shows. And so tomorrow's the last day, but it's in Tower. It's like a mini fringe festival and it sounds amazing. We went to Fringe one time in Edinburgh and it was like the coolest thing we've ever done.
Did you even tell? I mean, did they even know what Fringe Festival is? They're like,
Well, I
so-
just said all the things that happen at
okay,
Fringe.
Fringe Festival is at once a year for a month. That happens in Edinburgh, Scotland,
Yes.
for a month, and we caught the last 3 days on accident once because we won a trip or something. If you want to know more about that, let us know.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, the last 3 days of Fringe Festival in Edinburgh was our first 3 days in Scotland.
Yes.
So I was like, this is insane.
It was cool.
Street performers, music on every corner, comedy going on all over the place. Pop-up bars were everywhere.
live
it was
shows
it
all
was
the
just,
time.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
it was
crazy.
cool. But that's happening like Fresno, Tower District.
Yeah.
So if that's your thing, you should definitely go
You
check it out.
just go check it out.
And then
I
next
mean,
year we'll go.
yeah, I didn't know about it. It's kind of whether we have this funny thing. Like Sarah always finds out really cool things that already happened, and we
Or
didn't
it's
get
like
to
last day we
Yeah.
can go.
Yeah, that happens constantly.
It's my superpower.
So, what do I want to do? Oh, I had a lever. Now I pulled that up.
I have to go back. Wait, you want me to
It's
show
fine.
you my thing?
Oh, is this your what's up in your area? What is this?
This
It's
is
not
my.
even a shout
I
out
know
yet.
it's my good thing, but I missed it earlier.
Ugh.
Don't push the button. It's fine. Good thing. So I started making my own corn tortillas this week, and I found this at Kohl's, and it's only $20, but it's like a legit cast iron tortilla press, and I'm in love. I don't know if you ever made corn tortillas, but it's like 2 ingredients plus spices, whatever you want. And it takes like the same amount of time to just warm up a corn tortilla. You can make fresh ones, and it's the best thing ever. I've made them every single day this week.
So if you're if you're listening to this in just a podcast form, it's a cool deal.
Yes.
It's just a big press.
It's a cast iron tortilla press
It's
from
pretty dope.
Kohl's, $20, and like legit to make fresh tortillas is so good.
If you're into tortillas, it'll change your life.
I agree.
And
I've only been doing corn because I think my trainer wants me on a not gluten. I guess I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff right now. But Valerie, you can't smash your finger. How? It's like it's just.
Do you know how
one
you
little
don't smash your
squishy
finger
thing.
in it? You don't put your finger in the part
Yeah.
where it smashes.
No, look, because it holds itself.
It's not like it does it quickly.
See, it
Like
just holds
you
itself,
have to
and then
do
you
it.
put the thing in it, and you just drop it, and then.
But I'm being condescending, and I'm the one that just got rid of a blister on my hand from using scissors.
Yeah.
So
you can't talk crap.
I mean, I can talk crap,
But I love it. I'm over here, like I told Scooter, I'm like, I wish I had some like old Latin grandma that walked me through making really good tortillas. Because the ones I made today they were pretty good. The first couple of batches were a little rough. They're really thick. But today's were good and like pliable and
You
delicious.
made some today?
Yeah, I made fresh ones today with paprika and garlic.
So I didn't know that.
So good.
I know you made some the other day, and they were really good.
Yeah, no, I make
They were just the only thing that they broke
Yeah, I think I fixed it today.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But they were delicious. The
I
taste
know.
was great.
Yeah. Fresh tortillas, man. I'm telling you. It's
What are we
delicious.
talking about?
What's
Now
up in
we're
your
on the-
area? You were gonna bring up a
Holy
website.
cow. Like
My bad.
There's no flow today.
Nah, next
no.
time.
Oh, okay.
Fancy Friday.
Check this out, guys. If you guys haven't, I mean, it's not sponsored by them or anything, but I have found so many cool things on this website for the last, I don't know how many years. It's called meetup.com. So I can literally go in there. It's very niche. So
Niche?
niche. It's niche.
That was niche.
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 These sneeches.
That was niche.
I have
Very
no idea.
niche.
So English is hard for me.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
But you go to Fresno, and there's all these groups. So I don't want to pick any of them because some of them are like okay, but there's different types of groups, and all I want to do is go to meetup.com if you're looking for something in your area, because you can look up. I mean, I don't want to look up anything to be honest, but I've been a member of this website for years now.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see. I organize what's called Sacramento Beer Socials, which has like 4,800 members.
Yeah.
There's D&D in the area, which has like almost 2,700 members. Oh, we got board games. You can find anything. Stuff that's
Anything.
yeah, stuff that's a little bit more
Niche.
focused on what you like to do. Like they have cooking groups, they have storytelling groups, they have pickleball groups, they have singles groups, they have all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool site. It sounds like a dating site. It's called meetup.com. I'm sure people hook up on there. It's fine.
Can I say this?
Oh, you're good.
Valerie, I'm so excited for next Friday.
Uh-oh, who's
She's going to
Valerie?
have green on and a green martini. Love it. I need a fancy drink next week with my fancy dress.
Well, I just realized that isn't next Friday St. Patty's Day?
Is it? I don't know.
Isn't it?
7. Oh, it is St. Patrick's Day.
That's what I was like. Now I was like, when she said that, I was like, ding, ding, ding.
We should wear green too next
Because today's Mario Day.
Yeah.
And then next week is
You have to wear green. A green suit.
green. I don't have a green suit.
Me either. We should get one.
I could just change the filter in the
Oh,
camera
yeah, let's
to
do that.
green.
But then your whole face will be green. That's weird. Look like a Martian. All right, you ready for a shout out?
No, I'm not ready for anything.
Pizza for dinner, by the way.
Oh, I'm hungry.
I know, me too.
Shout out!
Woo!
Yeah, she mouthed that, but it was pre-recorded.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, that was fun to record some of these.
All right, what's your shout out?
Because we didn't do this either, but
That's okay.
we don't need that.
Yeah,
We've already over an hour.
Yeah. We ranted a lot.
So go for it. What's your shout out?
Okay. So there is a lovely human that I met in the Central Valley of California. And
yeah.
she goes under the name of Tasty Morsel, but her
Does
name
she
is
have a website?
she has an Instagram.
Oh, never mind.
Anyways, so Tasty Morsel is her company, and her name is Jackie, and she's a very sweet human being. So I was talking to her. We check in on each other like, I don't know, once every couple months. But so she had her own business, and she's taking a break from it because she was provided the opportunity to be the lead chef of Bitwise. And I didn't know what that was, so I had to look it up. But in Fresno downtown, there's like a Bitwise, like not restaurant, but like a cafeteria almost. Cafeteria. And so she is developing all of the pastry recipes for Bitwise, not just Fresno, but like all of their locations throughout the United States. So she gets to travel and meet with people and develop the pastry options at each location around the US. And I was like, it's so friggin' cool. So I told her next time we're in Fresno, we have to stop by the Bitwise campus and eat some of her fancy breads. But oh my gosh, she makes like the best soft pretzels. They're so good. Make your own beer cheese. Oh, diets are terrible.
I love seeing, and how I want to. Okay, it's kind of a plug for what we're doing. Like, there's a reason why we do this together. It's like, yeah, we want to get our opinions out there because it's cathartic for us.
Yeah.
But it's also, we're hoping to build enough people that listen to where we can give other people. Our shout outs are a big deal to us.
Yeah.
Okay. So giving other people props and pushing whoever's listening to this or watching this or whatever to go and look at somebody that's doing something amazing. That's kind of that's our mantra in life. It was like, I love to support other people. That's kind of why we do in life what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, you hire friends and family so they can have a career and work from home. Me, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody gets together and doesn't treat each other poorly and finding ways to do that. I was like, we have that's a very similar mantra in that aspect. So that's why we do what we do here, is primarily for our shout outs. yes, hopefully it's entertaining, but hopefully it's getting people that watch this or listen to this to talk about these kind of things at home too, or
Yes.
talk to your friend, or check out these things that we're talking about because they might be cool to you. Okay, take a breath. So I already
yours?
talked about the podcast network.
Yeah.
So I did that earlier. So a couple things that I was on another person's podcast today again. So I have to give a little shout out. It's called PK and DK Show. Sarah's been a huge fan of them for a very long time, and
Like 19 years.
yeah, 19, yeah, and that they decided to go live and started doing that over like the last 6 months or something like that. So they've had me on there multiple times, but they're just they are genuine people, but they it's one of those things of you hold you're not fake, but you're kind of like there's a different persona that you're trying to protect your family and those kind of things. So they're trying to do this for a living.
Yeah.
No joke. Like this is what they do to try and pay the bills.
Yes.
So it's pretty dope that they're doing that. So they had me on there again today. Just talk about crap because we sent them some.
We donated some board games.
Yeah, we're donating. We're giving away board games and that kind of stuff on there. And stuff like that. But
It's also very funny.
Oh,
and
it's a
it's on
comedic
Monday through Friday.
podcast. Yeah.
For PST time, it's like 11 o'clock usually, 11:30
during the day.
And it's just good humor. That's
Yeah,
all.
just hanging
entertaining.
out with a bunch of people that are enjoying themselves. They're chatting and hanging
Yeah.
out. And we're hoping to, feed that. We're a little bit more serious, I think, than they are.
Yeah, we cry more.
Yeah, we try and do a little bit more deeper subjects, but that's been our thing for the last couple of years. But also, we're doing a little project to try and help them out, get them motivated. I have to give a shout out to my friend and somebody I work with is Eli Beard. I always pronounce it Beard.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's Beard.
Like it's French.
Yeah, but it's Beard. Eli does a lot of cool artwork whenever I need him to. I mean, he's an amazing artist.
Yes.
Amazing comic book creator, writer. He does the writing, the coloring, everything. Some people are more niche.
And he's so fast. It's amazing.
He's-
Like his brain and how he can just take a concept into like doneness. And it's amazing how fast he can do it. I'm still trying to figure out how to draw circles and squares.
Yeah.
And he could take your idea in like 30 seconds. Like, well, here's a rough draft. Like, how did you
He's
do this?
he's a very talented and good human being.
Yes.
So he's done all the artwork for our one paper published RPG that we use in schools constantly right now. So he's done all the artwork for that. He's doing a little project for me to help out the PK and DK show, those type of things. So he's
With Ryan.
with Ryan. Yeah. Just check them out. Go check those things out. Check out Eli Beard. Now that you now
What's
I'm
this
just saying.
comic name?
He has Alien 101. He has what's his? We can pull that up. If anybody's interested, if you go to Scattered Comics.
Yes.
Oh, now I'm punching
See?
mics. I can't even find them on here anymore.
Well, Why are you on Scatter Comics as a creator?
So if you go to
Scooter can't draw.
scatteredcomics.com, I'm also featured on there.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I'll link him.
yes.
I'll link his
will
socials
tag
and
him,
everything.
because he is awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And if you go back into kind of our archive of stuff, in my company especially, you'll see Eli. We've done interviews with him and stuff like that. He's been on our other podcast and stuff like that. So, that's my guy.
Alrighty, we've done it. Let's order some pizza, man.
So we're gonna have pizza tonight. Wish we could invite you all over. You are invited if you want to come over.
I
If
can
you
only
don't
have
know
the
our address,
toppings.
then please don't come over.
I mean,
But if you know our
you
address,
could try.
you can just drive around.
I mean, even if we gave you the address, you'd still get lost. So
That's true. But thanks everybody for being in here. Let us know what you like, don't like, what you'd like to see, what you don't like to see, topics especially, because we'll talk about them at any time. But until
next week, Fancy Friday. Bring it.
we're gonna. I mean, she said this last week. And
No,
we'll see if
for
it
reals
happens.
this time because Valerie's in.
All right, so I'm cool with that. So I'm gonna sign off. Keep doing the sign off of make sure to pull up a chair and show up in real life, people.
No, that's
It means a lot.
Yeah.
All right, we love you guys.
Adios. Con la